Hello, wonderful Aries. This is your reading for the week of June 4th to June 10th. General readings for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign. Let's just have a look at the messages that come through today for Aries for the week of June 4th to June 10th. Aries. And there you are to start off the week with the lovely Emperor. That is your card. Go ahead and have a look and see what messages come out. So in the message that I'm seeing here for you for this week, Aries, is I feel like there's definitely something with some kind of agreement, some kind of union. And I want to say that this is going to be with a partner, a spouse, could be a good friend, could be a workmate. I feel like there may have been some kind of disagreement, Aries. I feel like you may have proposed something, maybe you've suggested something, maybe you've said something, and I feel like for whatever reason, your spouse or partner or coworker or somebody close to you, I feel like there's been a disagreement here, and I feel like they are defending themselves against something that was said or possibly even done. But I feel like it's definitely a disagreement, and I feel like they're defending themselves and they're kind of offended. I feel like this may have been something that you've said or done that offended them, and I'm seeing this by this, they're defending and they're kind of like, aloof now at this point. They're kind of like taking a step back, and I almost feel like they're kind of resenting you, or they're kind of looking at you not in a very positive way. This five is definitely a challenging energy here. It's conflict, it's challenge, it could be an obstacle, and it's also something that is changing. So anytime that we have a kind of like challenging energy, it's an energy that needs to change. Changes are always challenging. Anytime that we have something different, something out of our routine, a change needs to happen. And anytime we have that change, it kind of creates a little bit of push and pull, a little bit of instability. And instability is a challenging energy when we're not prepared for it. So I feel in some kind of way there could have quite possibly been a disagreement here. I feel like this person, this could be a water sign. The Queen of Cups traditionally could mean, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. However, it could be any kind of energy. This is a water energy, so it's very, it's moving, and it's, flexible, and it can change. And water can be very moody. It can be very sensitive. So, water is a kind of energy that we have to kind of, be on our guard with water. And sometimes, people may take things personally. I feel like, you, Aries, you're very confident and strong and secure, very dynamic uh, energy, a sign like Aries, if we just take it in terms of the zodiac, is a masculine, is a fire, external type energy. And if we have the water energy, water is very, empathetic and very sensitive type energy. So it's hurt very easily. So whatever was said or done, Aries, whether you were in the right or in the wrong, it's really kind of irrelevant here. The fact of the matter is this person took this information, whatever you said or did, they took it personally, and they've been offended by it, because I see this disagreement. I see this kind of defending of something that was said, between two people. So they were kind of defending, they're kind of like offended now about it, and they're kind of looking at you with resentment, like, oh, I can't believe that he said this. I can't believe that he did that. I can't believe it. So they're very offended, Aries, and I feel like they're going to kind of soak off. They're gonna want to spend some time on their own, the rest of the week, possibly. I feel like, they're offended. They're going to withdraw. They want to spend some time on their own. But I feel, Aries, by the end of the week, slowly but surely, they'll be coming back around. So I wouldn't worry about it so much, Aries. And I know that you won't. You have other things to do, and I know that even if this is your partner, even if this is a spouse, sometimes there are these disagreements. People get offended. They're offended for 2 or 3 days, but then they come back around. If you are wrong about whatever you said or did, sometimes just a little apology, hey, I'm sorry, can we make amends? Or, because sometimes Aries, even having that energy of, even if you are wrong, sometimes it's just easier to admit it and so that everybody can move on. But in the case of dealing with water energies, sometimes we are right. If somebody says, well, the day of the week is Monday. Well, no, it's not Monday. It's Tuesday. But what if you were right, Aries, and it really was Monday and they were thinking it was Tuesday, for example? So they were wrong, you were right. But if you insist on telling them that you were right, they will get offended. They will get offended. So that's essentially an issue that they need to work on. Sometimes, we all have our own issues that we have to work on our own time. And, sometimes people that are easily offended, it's just, that they need some more time to be able to process that information. It's sometimes people take things personally. It's just how their system works. They need a little more time to process that information. They need a little bit more time to absorb it, to digest it. For many people, it's really a difficult thing to admit that they were wrong. And then it's even more difficult for them to apologize if they know that they were wrong. So sometimes, whether you're right or you're wrong, it doesn't matter. Sometimes, even in both cases, you can just apologize and say, look, I know we had a little bit of a falling out. I know that there was a little bit of a disagreement. I'm sorry that it went this way. Perhaps in the future, we can improve our communication or, improve the way that we do things to avoid this kind of situation happening again. And really, that's all that we can do because, for us just to continue to say, who's right, who's wrong, all this does is it creates another argument. Because now, instead of arguing over what we were originally arguing about, we're now arguing over who was right and who were wrong, and who was wrong. So essentially, we're adding arguments onto arguments. Anytime we want to resolve an argument, the best thing sometimes is just to say, look, we're two of us here, two people together. We have this, issue that we need to resolve. We need to move forward. We need to work together on this issue. How can we do this better, for the next time? How can we do this better for the future? And just forget about even what the discussion was. So, Aries, that would be the message that I'm saying for this week. I definitely see, some kind of disagreement, something that happened. Somebody is going to be offended. But, even if they're slightly offended, even if they have some resentment towards you, they may need a couple times, a couple days to be by themselves, to be alone, to kind of process and absorb and digest that encounter or that disagreement. But I feel by the end of the week, in a few days, I think things are going to be on the mend. I see slowly but surely they're going to be coming back around for whatever this discussion was that was happening. And again, like I said, sometimes it doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong. Sometimes the best thing is just to apologize in both cases and say, look, how we did this, it didn't quite work out. So how can we improve it for the next time? So that is the message for you for this week of the 4th of June to the 10th of June, Aries. And I hope you have a good week.